Welcome to the Bootleg Zones. If you thought VCD was the only CD-based movie format, well, there was also the more obscure MovieCD. I always find these very short-lived movie formats really interesting, and if you blinked in the mid-90s, you would have missed MovieCD. It's a full-length feature film for your PC! So yeah, this was marketed as a movie format that you could watch on Windows 95 or even Windows 3.1. Really, guys? Are you serious? MovieCD came out in 1996, which is a time where I'd say most people weren't really wanting to watch full-length movies on their PCs, which is likely one of the main reasons why this disappeared so quickly. Though imagine all the power of Shredder on my Windows 95 PC, or even Windows 3.1! So one of the selling points of this format was you didn't need any additional hardware or software to run this, and no MPEG required. The video files on these CDs are AVIs encoded with the MVI2, aka Motion Pixels codec. The Motion Pixels codec was developed by Christian Huygen and David Whipple. And if you look at the video information of these files, you'll see these two guys' names just repeated over and over until it can't anymore. So we got our minimum system requirements of Windows 3.1 or 95, a 486 or 66 processor, 8 megabytes of RAM, just hard drive space, a double-speed CD-ROM drive, local bus video adapter with 1 megabyte RAM, 128 kilobyte level 2 cache, 100% Sound Blaster Pro compatible sound card, mouse, and speakers. And I guess if you want to play good, you should have 16 megabytes RAM and a quad-speed CD-ROM drive. So it's quite a limited selection that you can actually find on MovieCD, but of course I had to pick up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Mortal Kombat since those are two of my favorite movies that made it to this format. And yes, it took 2 CDs to fully watch a movie on this format, just like it did with VCD. So yeah, that'd be nice and annoying to have to switch your disc halfway through the movie, and you're not even getting the bonus of the extra quality that Laserdisc gave you where you had to do that. Based on the price tag that was on the Ninja Turtle one, it looks like they were kind of trying to get rid of these by that point. And kind of interestingly, on an archive of the old Sirius site, you can see that you used to be able to buy these without the packaging for a bit cheaper. Though I'd be quite upset not to have this clamshell packaging for 2 CDs, because that's quite interesting. This package style was more common with audiobooks on CD back in the day, and that weird French Learn English with Ghostbusters movie I got has this style. So we can watch movies, music videos, comedies, cartoons, sports, and more. Works on your home office and portable computers. Use away from home, at school, planes, trains, and in cars. Guess they didn't want to go with planes, trains, and automobiles. Guess that movie wasn't on this format. Watch a MovieCD while using applications such as word processing, spreadsheets, email, the internet, and others. Wow. Imagine the multitasking. Doubles as an extra household VCR, ideal for the kids. I do love the VCR in massive sarcasm quotes. You can take a break from work, or it's just for fun. Watching a movie just for fun, that'll be the day. Sirius Publishing, who put out the MovieCD, was based out of Scottsdale, Arizona, and they don't exist anymore, so trying to ring them ain't gonna do you too much.
Who we gonna call?
I find it kinda interesting that the transfer rate on these 2 movies isn't the same, so the transfer rate they have listed for Mortal Kombat is 196 kilobytes a second, and we get the extra transfer rate of 202 kilobytes a second for Turtles. Man, it's going to be so clear. So they have the Studio, Windows, and Sirius logos all listed here on the backs of these things. But kind of funny, on the back of Mortal Kombat, they have under license in Canada from Alliance Video. And Alliance Video were also the ones who released Ninja Turtles on home video in Canada. So if these movie CDs were just being made for retail in both the US and Canada, it's kind of weird that this isn't also listed on the Ninja Turtles one. I think MovieCD would be one of, if not the first release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on home video to use the theatrical poster for the cover. Though if you really look closely at this, you can tell the way they copied this wasn't really perfect. So besides our 2 CDs, inside the MovieCD case, we also get, some instructions and stuff telling us how to use this thing. In addition to installing the Motion Pixels codec, these CDs would also install a dedicated MovieCD player. It's the newest CD-ROM sensation! That'll be true forever! But I am just really amazed that MovieCD transforms your personal computer into your very own personal entertainment center! Enjoy TV quality, full motion, full screen video! Not really true!
Gnarly! Radical! Yeah! Totally ridiculous, dude!
Where do you get these guys?
If it doesn't say Motion Pixels, it's not MovieCD. And in most cases, you'd probably be glad it didn't say Motion Pixels. The Motion Pixels codec, I guess, is extremely buggy on modern systems, at least according to Wikipedia. But luckily, my friend Steve had access to a Windows XP computer at his work and was able to convert these for me.
What?
Whoa, I got a MovieCD registration card. I hope it's not too late to, register my movies for some reason. We hope you enjoy your new MovieCD from Sirius Publishing. You should experience near TV picture quality on your computer screen. So now it's the bit more accurate near TV. We also have some troubleshooting tips on here, like, if the playback's jerky, basically all these come down to is, close everything else. Or maybe you've got the wrong driver loaded, or bunch of hardware issues, which, you're not going to have any of these issues if you just popped a VHS and a VCR. And really, that's the main issue with MovieCD as a format. It's less convenient, and also it's worse quality than VHS. So my Mortal Kombat MovieCD came with a MovieCD product catalog, and the Ninja Turtles one didn't, and that one was brand new, so maybe MovieCD was already on its deathbed by the time that was released. Doing it first, doing it best! Seriously cancelled! So some of the MovieCDs would have these labels on them to tell you, immediately what kind of movie they were. The Ninja Turtles and Mortal Kombat are just labeled feature film. And I guess we're really promoting the fact you can get The Mask on MovieCD. But some of the titles you could get on MovieCD just kind of seemed random. Like, okay, you could get A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and those were the only Nightmare on Elm Street movies on the format, it seems. Also, I'm glad there was a movie called that. What a probably fun NC-17 title that is. So we go from Betty Boop cartoons to, And Night of the Living Dead was on here because it's in public domain, so of course it was. Oh man, Sex Madness. This would be one of the perfect movies for the kids. Lawnmower Man and Lawnmower Man 2 are on here, but those kind of seem like they were made to be on something silly like MovieCD. Oh, damn it, Michelle! Computer Animation Festival Volume 1. Well, you know what? The quality of MovieCD would probably only improve how early computer animation looks.
And now for a taste of things to come.
These MovieCDs open with the Sirius Motion Pixels MovieCD bumper, which is one of many things about them that make you think you're about to play an old FMV game rather than watch a movie. So one of the first major issues with MovieCD's picture is the resolution, which is about half that of regular standard definition, which in a full frame is 640 by 480. The resolution on the MovieCDs isn't even consistent, it seems, as Mortal Kombat comes comes in at 320 by 236, and TMNT is slightly smaller with a resolution of 320 by 224. So here's what that looks like, not scaled up to fit the 1080p frame. Pretty wonderful. The frame rate is also quite low. Most sources seem to list the MovieCD's frame rate as being 16 frames per second, but both the Mortal Kombat and TMNT MovieCD's frame rates are actually 14.985 FPS. Again, this is below half of the 30 frames per second, or 29.97, of a standard VHS recording, though most films were actually recorded in 24 FPS. You can even see with the slightly smaller vertical resolution of TMNT compared to Mortal Kombat, it kind of crunches in the picture a bit, making the serious bumper at the beginning much more distorted and blocky looking. And really, overall, TMNT has fared a lot worse on MovieCD than Mortal Kombat. Though, as I mentioned earlier, with the decreased color depth and lower frame rate, it seems like we should be getting commands popping up on the screen to play Mortal Kombat the movie, the game.
Finish him!
You suck. Again?
They just got lazy with the brightness adjustment on Ninja Turtles, though, it seems. They've just upped the gain on the entire film. Probably so that some of the darker scenes in the movie wouldn't be mostly black with the smaller color palette. But this really blows out a lot of the brighter scenes in the movie, and this was not an issue when they transferred this movie to VHS. April looks like a ghost during a shot of her on a monitor, which normally doesn't look that bad at all. The audio kind of suffers on MovieCD as well, which is mono at the bitrate of 88 kilobits per second. This gives a much thinner sound compared to what you'd normally get on VHS. One site I found has rather detailed information on the Mortal Kombat MovieCD, but there's a rather weird discrepancy in what they detail on their disc versus what I have. Their disc 1 seems to be the same as mine, as it ends with Sonya finishing Kano, but according to them, disc 2 omits the Liu Kang vs. Katana and Sub-Zero fights, and just starts with a shot of Shang Tsung's island right before the Goro battles. Well, those two battles are very much on my Mortal Kombat MovieCD disc 2. The AVI file on my disc 2 is also larger than the file size they list, being 460 megabytes versus the 653 megabytes mine is. I can't imagine why those two scenes would be purposely cut. I mean, it's not like the violence in those scenes really exceeds anything else in the movie. And clearly, the movie still fits on the disc with these scenes included. So I'm thinking someone probably messed up on where the movie is meant to resume on disc 2 in some of the earlier runs of the discs. Unfortunately, I don't have a VCD of TMNT or Mortal Kombat for a direct comparison of MovieCD to that, but I do have a VCD of Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which does start the same as the first movie and has a recap of some scenes. VCD's video is still around half that of standard definition resolution, but it usually does have the full frame rates and a much fuller audio. The drawbacks to VCD are the blocky MPEG compression you can see in the picture, which has a lot more motion blur compared to MovieCD. MovieCD's picture also tends to be a lot sharper than VCD's in general. Though of course VCD never had much of a presence in North America as a legit home movie format, so it's mostly VHS that MovieCD was going up against. And really the only advantage it had was if you just really wanted to watch movies on the computer, which was something far less common in 1996. And as we got towards the end of the 90s, we had the rise of DVD, which probably crushed any of the little following this format had. And if we want to be really unfair, we can compare MovieCD to Blu-ray, which is which. Really though, I can't imagine most people being okay with having the movie interrupted halfway through to have to change a disc without even having the quality boost at the very least like a Laserdisc offered. And instead having a quality decrease. I mean, except for the regions where VCD remained popular for quite a while, I guess. These MovieCD discs can also be extremely loud in the disk drive. I find it extremely fascinating they tried this CD home video format just geared towards people watching movies on the computer. I guess it was a bit ahead of its time in some respects and pretty far behind in others. VHS just looked and sounded better, and then of course DVD arrived shortly later and greatly increased home video quality, and you didn't need 2 discs just to finish a regular length movie. Ectotron is a pretty much perfect mashup of 2 franchises which both started in 1984, and this only took 35 years to be officially realized. But hey, better late than never. I am so happy to see this thing. And there's something just immensely satisfying about seeing an actual official product with the Ghostbusters and Autobot logo on it. This box uses the classic Transformers logo, but there is a bit of slime dripping off the S at the end, which is a nice touch. And of course, most of you probably don't really need me to tell you this, but everything about Ectotron's box is mimicking the original Transformers style packaging. They even broke out the old Hasbro logo that they were using in 1984, which is another nice touch. And Ectotron is pretty much the perfect name for an Ecto-1 Transformer. Even the size of the box looks very similar to the original Transformers packaging. And it's nice how there's logos indicating the 35th anniversary of both Ghostbusters and Transformers. The back of Ectotron's box even features that original Transformers box artwork with squinty, sinister-looking Optimus Prime fighting his main nemesis, Starscream. There's even a tech spec for Ectotron on the back, which is great. Though instead of writing out each stat like strength, intelligence, and stuff, this one just has logos for each thing. And there are less skill categories than there were on the original boxes, but some of them are pretty different, like ghost catching and no ghost, which I'm not really sure what no ghost really means as a skill. And Ectotron is only a 7 at no ghosting, but he's a full 10 at ghost catching, so that's good. There's no points on the back of Ectotron's box to cut off and send in, which is a real shame because everyone loves the fact that people used to cut up the packaging. Instead, we've just got a whole lot of logos: Ghost Corps, GM, Transformers, and Hasbro. These were made in Vietnam, so that's a little different. This has a copyright stamp of 2018 for Columbia Pictures, but I'm guessing that's just because that's probably when they made the deal with Columbia/Sony to make this figure. Because I can't imagine that the original plan was to do this for the 34th anniversary of both franchises. Ectotron's function is Paranormal Investigator. Can't believe that one. When life splatters you with marshmallow goo, just go with it. When the Ghostbusters need a ride to the next paranormal hotspot, it's nice to have one who can also handle a proton pack. Busted makes me feel convenient. So, out of the package and in vehicle mode, Ectotron, of course, makes a pretty nice looking Ecto-1 figure. Here's Ectotron next to the larger scales Hot Wheels Ecto-1, and of course the original real Ghostbusters Ecto-1. Ectotron is a bit more of an accurate Ecto-1 than the original real Ghostbusters Ecto-1, and of course doesn't have quite the level of detail as the Hot Wheels one does. But Ectotron really does have an insane amount of detail, especially for the scale. And yes, Ectotron does have the Ecto-1 license plate at the front. And it's really cool that they went the extra mile getting the Cadillac licensing from General Motors. Ectotron comes with a little Slimer figurine, which is made out of a flexible material. This little Slimer is about the same size as the Retro Action Slimer, but of course it's translucent and is based more on the movie Slimer. But they didn't give him a butt on the back, it's just a big ol' lump. But you know, that's alright. I think I've seen enough of Slimer's butt for a while, especially when it's been put on figures that probably shouldn't have that particular detail. Now with Ectotron, I am just really impressed with how good this thing looks, considering it's a toy which also has to transform. I mean, even if this car didn't transform, I'd be pretty impressed with the level of detail it's got going. Oh, and they printed the instructions in black and green. Nice. Oh, and the roof gadgets transform into the proton pack. I love it. Alright, now let's transform this guy. Ghostbusters, more than meets the eye. Who you gonna call? The Autobots or something? So there he is transformed, heroic Autobot / Ghostbuster Ectotron. And Ectotron's extra ecto since he's got the ecto goggles on. They gave him some pretty sweet details in robot mode as well, like an Ectotron name tag. And it was a really neat idea having the roof gadgets turn into the proton pack. My only little minor quibble, I guess, here is there could have been a little bit of paint detail on the proton pack. But having the cords on Ecto 1 turn into the cord that connects the proton pack to the Neutrona wand is pretty sweet. Now the cords do kind of get a little tangled up here when you're trying to pose Ectotron, but again, it's not that big of a deal. I also kind of wish that the proton pack pegged into the back a little bit tighter, because I've had it fall out on me already a couple of times. Another nice detail is when Ectotron's done busting, you can hang his Neutrona wand up on the pack. Ecto 1 being a Transformer, I think has been something in the minds of fans of both of these franchises for quite a while, and it's nice to finally see this become a reality.
Busting should make all sentient beings feel good. Let's transform and show this prehistoric Decepticon how we do things downtown.
So anyway, here I am with my new best buddy, Ectotron. I guess he takes things a little more seriously than I do.
Ectotron, I need to hire you to bust the ghost of Starscream!
What are you talking about, Megatron? I'm not dead anymore. Unicron gave me my body back.
Starscream, you idiot! There's a bunch of Transformers dimensions out there, so there's plenty of Starscream ghosts for Ectotron to bust!
Oh, well, I guess I never thought of it that way, Megatron. Neither did I. I never thought about getting my body back. I was just gonna go in this time portal and bug some weird beast Transformers.
We've got enough problems without you adding to them, Starscream, which is actually why I'm here. I need you to bust the ghost of Pterosaur. He says he's trans-metal, but I don't remember that happening. I'm pretty sure he fell in lava and died.
I was turning trans-metal before I got knocked into the lava by stupid Megatron. I could be alive. Pterosaur, you seem pretty cool. We should hang sometime. You have no idea how much I would love that.
Ectotron, these Decepticons are bad influences. You shouldn't be hanging out with them. Besides, I need you to bust the ghost of me. I told you, Prime, I'm not your ghost. I'm a sort of copy of you from another dimension. Sorta. We might be from the same dimension. I'm not really sure. Yeah, that sounds like it makes sense. Ectotron, do your thing.
Jeez, I don't know, Slimer. I'm starting to think I made a huge mistake getting into this Transformer ghost hunting business.
I have no use for advice to offer you, Ectotron!
Wow. Thanks. Ecto 1 being sentient. Great idea, Egon. Now everyone just wants to hire our car instead of us. Don't put this on me, Peter. This wasn't my idea. It was Vector Sigma's.
Guys, when life splatters you with marshmallow goo, just go with it.
I don't know if that really applies, Ectotron, but thanks. I know for sure that it doesn't, but hey, at least now Q5 can't make me the driver since the car drives itself. Now that we have the awesomeness, which is Ectotron, we need a certain other mashup transformer to complement. My Ninja Turtles movie CD was actually still sealed when I first got it, and I ruined it. Oh darn, guess I'm not gonna get that refund now. So yeah, I guess there were at least a few different versions of the Ninja Turtles movies I found somewhat interesting. Let's start our look at the Ninja Turtles movies with the classic VHS release by FHE. And I also have the Canadian edition of the VHS, which was put out by Alliance. For the most part, these VHSs look the same. But there are some differences, like the Alliance release not having the printed in USA stamp on it. And there's also a couple of spots where the Alliance edition has added a little Ninja Turtles head, which is not on the FHE edition. But probably most importantly, the approximate running time's in green on the FHE one when it's not on the Alliance one. Another odd little difference is this charm the shell out of me quote having a red stroke on the FHE edition when it doesn't on the Alliance one. And the turtles are beveled out on the FHE case when they are not on the Alliance one. The Canadian edition also has a marking for MCA home video. But most importantly, it still has the plastic around it with the sticker telling you about the Pizza Hut coupons inside. And yes, the Pizza Hut coupons are still in there. Time to take a trip to Pizza Hut. As for the cassettes themselves, the FHE one has a top sticker label and the Alliance one is printed on in green. And the FHE one I guess makes up for its lack of turtle heads on the cover by having a bunch of them on the top label. And for a third variant that looks like the same thing at first glance, I also have the Canadian beta version. And like a lot of beta releases nearing its death, it's just got a beta sticker over VHS. And kind of funny, even though this is the Canadian edition of the beta, I got it from the US. The padding inside the VHS sleeve to hold the beta tape is styrofoam, which you can see is breaking apart and leaving bits everywhere, so that's nice. And here's the original VHS release of Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze, with the turtles inside their number 2. And instead of FHE distributing the Turtles 2 VHS, New Line made a deal with RCA Columbia. I happened to just find this Turtles 2 VHS at a Goodwill, and it's still sealed. What the? I'm seeing double! 4 Turtles 2! But once again, this is the oh no, sticker beta edition of Turtles 2. And they really greened it up with the top label sticker for the beta tape. They didn't use styrofoam to hold the beta tape in this VHS sleeve, it's just some cardboard padding. And this is the VHS of the special collector's edition, The Making of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Behind the Scenes. Shells. This was another cassette which was distributed by RCA Columbia. And you can see Vanilla Ice proud to be on the Turtles 2 set. This tape is still sealed and I was going to open it, but then I got it as a special feature on this particular Blu-ray set. So I don't have the normal North American release of Turtles 3, but I got this Spanish edition, which has the much cooler looking cover in my opinion, and disguises rather well how poor the Turtles actually look in this movie. But on the back they at least let you know, hey, yeah, look, they're pretty dumb. And this edition of Turtles 3 was distributed by Fox Home Video. And they even got a hologram sticker. Ooh, that's something, I guess. And look at that front label. A barcode. And another hologram. And I guess the top label must have fallen off at some point. This is also one of those plastic cases which is way bigger than it needs to be to hold this tape. And speaking of huge plastic cases, here's the Korean edition of Turtles 2 on VHS. So this one uses the theatrical poster, but it's been modified so the background with the shadows of Toka and Razar behind the turtles has been changed to a skyline at sunset. I also love how they've added Raph's head into the text logo. And I also like the kind of comic-looking cowabunga with the 4 turtles on the back. And South Korea was another region where the tapes were put out by Fox Video. And Turtles 2 has got a nifty red case, which has on it the logo for a company called Daewoo. This seems to be the company that made the tape, and I guess they really liked red since the tape flap is also red. And this has a rather nifty color top label, which unfortunately has been damaged at some point. And they also did the front label in color, so overall this is a rather nice looking release. And now let's move on to the Italian VHS. And let me say this completely wrong, I'm sure. Tartarughi Ninja alla Rucosa. Well, I tried. We got a few companies on this one we don't usually see, like BV Video and Pocket Video. This cover was particularly noteworthy for me for being a theatrical poster edit, so instead of the turtles peeking out from the manhole, they're just standing around. And if you look really closely, it's not an exactly seamless edit. And the back of the video is really white. Much like the super white case 2 with the VV Video logo on it. And I gotta say, the top label on this cassette is incredibly plain. But Italy got a much more colorful looking Turtles 2 release, which I guess is just all about Raphael. This one was also put out by Fox Video under some series, I guess, called Silver and Gold. So if you didn't like how white Turtles 1 was in Italy, well, this one is super green. I mean, it's even got a green case and yes, a green VHS. And I absolutely adore that it's a green VHS cassette. That is awesome looking. More Turtles releases should have been green like this. Moving over to France, here's their VHS release of the Ninja Turtles film, also put out by Fox Video. This is another theatrical poster edit and a rather strange one where they've just added Raphael floating in the sky above himself and the other turtles still peeking out from the manhole. Just why? Why is Raphael flying above himself? This is another edit that doesn't look very seamless when you look at it very closely, and also Raphael's missing his left foot. I don't know if they're trying to pretend it disappeared behind that building in the background. But this is like the Super Raphael edition of the Ninja Turtles movie. So not only was Raphael floating in the sky on the front, but they've got 3 different pictures of him on the back and one in a group shot. And here's the cassette of Le Tortue Ninja Le Film. And here's the Japanese release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on VHS. Or should I say Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, because in Japan they still called the movie Hero Turtles, where in the UK they were okay with calling the movie Ninja Turtles. This cover uses one of the same promo photos from the North American VHS release. However, they've edited it so they're behind the theatrical poster background, and this is one of the only covers I've seen to actually include April O'Neil on it. This was originally a rental copy, and you can see the spine got pretty sun-bleached. And I absolutely love the back cover of this one too, with all the pictures and these shooting stars. A lot of these Japanese covers have prices on them too, so we can see what they were charging for them back then. The stickers on the actual cassette though are just generic Towa Video ones. The front label even says copyright 1989 North Shore Investments Limited, when the Turtles movie of course came out in 1990. This is one of the versions of Turtles which has been modified quite a bit, and it's quite interesting, which I did a whole video about. Cheap plug!
Your combat skills are reaching their peak.
And here's the last and largest version of the Ninja Turtles movie I got. This is the Hebrew version. So instead of just Raph floating in the sky, we've got 2 sets of the 4 turtles this time. And this is a drawing of the movie Turtles that I'm not really familiar with. And also, kinda interestingly, they've changed the sky to be at day for some reason. And the drawn turtles might be trying to stop the movie Turtles from actually getting out of the sewers by standing on the manhole cover. On the spine, we've got that picture from the North American VHS release. And another picture of Raphael. He's the leader of the group. There's a lot going on the back cover, and hey, they've got the room for it, right? I'm guessing this is a logo for some company that has something to do with this release. There's also a logo for GMC Video. I tried looking into this to see if this has any association with the automobile company, but I couldn't find anything. And in Israel, they also had a Pizza Hut tie-in. I love that. So here's the reason this clamshell is so huge. They've got the movie on 2 different VHS tapes, but I'm not really sure why. I thought first maybe this was the first 2 Turtles movies, but nothing on the back shows anything from Turtles 2. So it looks like it might just be the first movie split onto 2 cassettes for no real good reason. I mean, the tape inside there looks kinda small. And of course, here's the MovieCD version of Ninja Turtles. If you want to know more about the MovieCD edition, check out my video specifically on MovieCD.
And now it's Laserdisc time.
This one uses the same cover as the VHS one, but it's got the Laserdisc poking out from the sides. This Laserdisc was put out by both Family Home Entertainment and Image Entertainment. Exclusively, apparently. And it's got digital stereo surround sound! And the back cover is again pretty similar to the VHS. Though we've got information on the chapters and stuff. And here's a shot of the actual Laserdisc. And the sleeve is for some reason talking about CD video. Let's talk about compact discs on a sleeve for a disc which is not compact at all. Here's the Japanese Laserdisc release of the movie, where again they've changed the name to Hero Turtles. And again, Japan has a pretty fun looking back cover for the movie. And like with my other Japanese Laserdiscs, it has these little sleeve things which are on the side of it for some reason. And here's Turtles 2 on Laserdisc. Again, it's the same cover as the VHS. No RCA Columbia as a part of this release though, it's just New Line Home Video and Image Entertainment. And here's Turtles 3 on Laserdisc with that original North American home video cover. Casey Jones is back and worse than ever in this mishap of a time travel story! Oh wait, I mean Turtles 3 is the best of the series! Yeah. And finally moving into DVD land with what is sort of the 4th movie, TMNT. And this is the only movie I have on HD DVD, which I just bought for the novelty of it. The layout of these back covers is sort of similar, but the HD DVD likes Splinter more and the regular DVD likes the Turtles. So here's one of the first releases of the first 3 Ninja Turtles movies in a 3-pack, with a weird Ninja Turtles logo, which I only recall seeing on this. So this Turtles 2 DVD is actually the only home video release I have which uses the Turtles 2 theatrical poster unmodified. And the Turtles 3 DVD uses the usual home video cover. The Turtles 1 DVD in this set is sort of the original home video cover. It's just they've made it a lot more colorful looking. This is one of the UK versions of the Ninja Turtles movie on DVD. It's again using that picture from the original home video release, but super blown up and in front of the theatrical poster background. The case itself is transparent and the DVD has a picture of the Ninja Turtles really angry that you bought this edition. Now here's a stranger overseas DVD variant of the first 2 Ninja Turtles movies. This one uses some artwork I've not really seen used on anything else. And there's some strange details here, like Donatello has a toothpick for some reason. I do really like, though, the graffiti on the walls with Shredder and Toka and Razar. This edition of Turtles 1 and 2 has 2 different PG ratings on it. One is the typical UK rating, and the other is specifically for the Irish Film Classification Office. Then we got this kinda stupid classic 90s rewind edition of the Ninja Turtles movie that I picked up at a Walmart. This is one of those big face covers, which is a style of cover I rather hate. But adding to the terribleness, this is Ninja Turtles 3 Leonardo, not the one from the original movie. And on the back, more Ninja Turtles 3 nonsense. Stop using Ninja Turtles 3 crap on the other movies. They don't look the same. Now here's a France DVD release of the movie. And again, they've modified the theatrical poster, but instead of Raphael floating in the sky, they've added a fog and the moon. And in France, they Mortal Kombat up Cowabunga by spelling it with a K! And again, I appreciate the green case and the pizza label on the DVD. Though I can't say that pizza looks particularly appetizing. This DVD also is one of the funniest and strangest menus I've seen for the film, with super deformed edits of all the characters bouncing around and making mumbly noises and sounds with a few discernible words. Hey, did you think it's kind of silly they added the moon in the sky in the last DVD? Well, now they've added the Earth. Excuse me, guys. Why is the Earth in the sky? Does this movie not take place on Earth now? And this is another overseas DVD with, again, the UK and Irish PGs on it. And this is the first one to have the tagline, "Dude, this ain't no cartoon." But most importantly, it's got a shiny slipcover. "You've bought the toys and seen the cartoon, but this ain't no animation, dudes and dudettes. These turtles are real!" And these turtles aren't. These turtles are terrible. It's Turtles 3. Turtles in Time? Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see a release of this movie actually call it Turtles in Time. That was the informal title for Turtles 3, which people just called it that because of the video game Turtles in Time. And this time we've got the Xboxy translucent green DVD case. And the back of this one says they are real too, but they are not. And this is the German DVD of the Turtles film, which is the first foreign release of Turtles I bought. And the big reason I originally bought this one is it actually has a director's commentary on it by Steve Barron. He introduces the commentary in German, but the rest of it's all in English. It's really interesting to listen to, and kind of silly that we've never gotten a commentary on an actual English release. And here we've got the Hong Kong release of Ninja Turtles 1 on DVD, which kind of makes it look like a premium set release. And I love that one of the characters in the title is kind of made up to look like a Ninja Turtle. And this is another one with a rather fun-looking back cover. It's just got a rather interesting design aesthetic to it, and also the turtles aren't from Turtles 3. Now it's kind of neat, out of the slipcover on the back, they show the voice actors for the different turtles in this edition. The front label, though, kind of looks a lot better with the slipcover on, though. Hey, the Hong Kong version was made in Hong Kong. This DVD has an interesting extra on it, which is some lobby cards of the Hero Turtles version of the movie. And they didn't rename the movie Hero Turtles in Hong Kong, so it's really weird those are on there. Alright, let's finally move on to Blu-ray, and these are the Australian versions of Ninja Turtles 1, 2, and 3. Now, I rather like the comic book layout they did for these covers, but again, I hate that they're using Ninja Turtles 3 promo pictures. Except for here, this is the only one it's appropriate on. And they also called Turtles 3 Turtles in Time again here. Oh no, Umbrella! Oh no, frequent low-level violence! But it's not frequent anymore here, so that's okay. Now, cool thing about these Blu-rays is, though, the covers are all reversible, so you can get rid of those Turtles 3 pictures if you really want. And the drawn cover art on the flip side is pretty cool looking, much better than seeing Turtles 3 on all 3 movies. And here's Batman vs. Ninja Turtles on Blu-ray, and I really like the metallic beveled out slipcover this movie got. And I also really liked the movies, so of course I got some novels in the comments about how much it sucked. This is the Spanish Blu-ray set of Ninja Turtles 1 and 2. And it's kind of odd that this set uses a slightly modified version of the TMNT movie logo. This also uses an angrier promo photo for the cover. And even though this is the first 2 movies, if you take out the slipcover, it looks like it's just Turtles 1. However, this is a reversible cover, so if you want it to be just Turtles 2, you can change it to that. And I want to mention that they've kind of semi-animated the movie posters for Turtles 1 and 2 for the Blu-ray menus on this disc, and it's kind of strange seeing them blink and stuff on these. The set also comes with a booklet, so they tried some here, I don't get the reversible cover thing. So we got a story about the origin of the Turtles, which is the 2003 Turtles, of course. I mean, we do have the Mirage guys over here, but that's kind of strange. Then we got some pictures of various incarnations of the Turtles. Ugh, and then we have blown up pictures of the horrible Turtles 3 Turtles, and you get a nice comparison here next to the Jim Henson Turtles, which makes these look extra horrible. Every page also has this artwork of super realistic looking turtles. And I remember these being shared around from DeviantArt before. So I hope they actually paid that artist to use these. I kinda wonder. And there's Jim Henson with Leonardo saying, "Stop using those crappy Ninja Turtles 3 pictures!" That's a classic quote from him. But they aren't listening. Vision test, good. Bad, good, bad! It's kind of funny though to have those Turtles 3 pictures in a set that excluded Turtles 3. And let's finish off with the 25th Anniversary Collector's Edition Ninja Turtles Blu-ray set. They made the set look like a pizza box and gave the Blu-rays all pizza labels. Though I kind of object to the fact they made the cheese pizza Turtles 3. And they even gave the back of the box fake grease stains. Unfortunately, the set pretty much has nothing as far as special features go, except for the 3D animated TMNT film. For Turtles 1, 2, and 3, though, it's just theatrical trailer, which is nothing. But hey, at least there was an ad for Turtles Smash Up in here. For an actual bonus, though, there's a mini version of the Ninja Turtles comic adaptation of the movie. But I had the regular size version of that comic anyway. Didn't they know that before they put this in here? And there is also an envelope with 8 of our finest character cards and a reproduction sketch. So the sketch looks pretty cool. Now let's look at the cards. Turtles 3, Turtles 3, Turtles 3, Turtles 3. I don't think that's Turtles 3, so way to go, Splinter. That's Turtles 3, that's Turtles 3, that's Turtles 2. In hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have ended with this set. They at least had that making of feature right on the Spanish Blu-ray set. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my descent into madness with Ninja Turtles instead of Ghostbusters. If you didn't, I don't know, cowabunga. Your hair, Don Leo. Oh, damn it. I'm so vain. Well, 2 out of 8 ain't bad, right? That is kind of bad. TARDIS! New style, new style, new style!
Watching, and we'll see you in the morning. MAGA.